What if I told you that one of the biggest threats to aging well is the calcium your body is quietly losing every single year? Most people think calcium is only about bones, but that belief is dangerously incomplete. Because when your calcium levels and intake are neglected, your body can begin to show signs in ways people rarely connect. Weak nails, muscle tightness, poor posture, fatigue, feeling older than you should, even balance and strength can slowly decline. And here's the part nobody talks about. Some of the best calcium-rich foods are not milk. In fact, one food on today's list may contain more usable calcium than what most people drink every morning. And number 10 isn't even a single food. It's a strategy that can change how your body ages. Today, I'll show you 10 calcium-rich foods that help protect your bones, muscles, and vitality as you age. Simple foods that many people overlook until it's too late. If staying strong, active, and independent matters to you, stay until the end. Because what you eat now may decide how you move later. Here's something most people discover far too late. Your body does not suddenly become fragile overnight. It happens slowly, quietly, through years of small deficiencies, unnoticed habits, and nutrients your body keeps asking for. And calcium is one of the most misunderstood of them all. Because calcium is not just the bone nutrient. Your body uses calcium every single day for muscle contraction, nerve signaling, heart rhythm, movement, and structural repair. Every step you take, every time you stand up, every heartbeat, calcium plays a role. That means protecting your calcium intake is really about protecting your freedom. The freedom to walk confidently, to stay active, to feel stable, to keep doing the things you love as the years pass. And after 40, 50, and beyond, this becomes even more important because absorption can change, hormones shift, and the body becomes less forgiving of neglect. The good news? You do not need complicated supplements or extreme diets to begin supporting your body. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are sitting in ordinary foods at the grocery store. Foods people ignore because they seem too simple. Today's list is designed to help you see calcium differently and use it intelligently. Some choices are affordable, some are surprising, some may already be in your kitchen. So if you care about aging with strength, energy, and confidence, subscribe to the channel and join us, and stay close. Because the first food is humble, inexpensive, and far more powerful than most people realize. 1. White beans. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked foods in modern nutrition, white beans. Not trendy, not expensive, not flashy. And that may be exactly why so many people underestimate them. While attention goes to powders, supplements, and expensive superfoods, white beans quietly deliver something the aging body deeply appreciates: calcium, magnesium, potassium, fiber, and plant protein, all in one humble package. That matters more than most people realize, because bones are not built from calcium alone. They rely on a network of nutrients working together, and white beans naturally bring several of those pieces to the table. They also help support stable blood sugar and digestive health, two factors that become increasingly important with age. Why does digestion matter here? Because if your gut is inflamed or sluggish, nutrient absorption often suffers. So sometimes protecting your bones begins by supporting your digestion first. This is why traditional cultures around the world relied on beans for generations. They were never just filler food. They were survival food, strength food, longevity food. And unlike many processed options, white beans nourish slowly. They give the body sustained energy instead of a quick spike followed by a crash. That means more stable afternoons, fewer cravings, and better consistency with healthy eating. Practical ways to use them: add to soups and stews, toss into salads, blend with garlic, olive oil, and lemon into a spread, mix into grain bowls, mash as a side dish instead of processed starches. If using canned beans, Simply rinse them well and choose lower sodium options when possible. Here's the deeper lesson. Sometimes the foods that protect you most are the ones the world stopped talking about. White beans may look ordinary, but ordinary foods used consistently often create extraordinary aging. And wait until you see the next item, because it's tiny enough to fit in your palm, yet powerful enough to surprise almost everyone. 2. Chia seeds, something small enough to disappear into a spoon, yet powerful enough to support the body in multiple ways at once. Chia seeds. Most people think of chia seeds as a trendy topping for smoothies or social media breakfast bowls. But long before trends existed, chia was valued by ancient civilizations for endurance, stamina, and nourishment. And now modern nutrition confirms why. These tiny seeds contain calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, fiber, and omega-3 fats, a rare combination that can be especially valuable as the body ages. Why does that matter? Because calcium helps structure, magnesium helps regulation, omega-3 helps calm unnecessary inflammation, fiber supports gut health and metabolic balance. That means chia doesn't just add calcium, it helps create a healthier environment for the body to use nutrients wisely. And that's a major difference. Many people focus only on what they consume, but forget that absorption, inflammation, and consistency matter just as much. Another benefit people notice? Chia absorbs liquid and forms a gel-like texture, which can help create fullness and steady energy. This is useful for people trying to avoid constant snacking or sugar crashes. In simple words, tiny seed, big support. Easy ways to use it daily. Stir into yogurt, add to oatmeal, blend into smoothies, make chia pudding overnight, sprinkle over fruit bowls. Mix into water with lemon for a simple fiber drink. Start small if you're not used to fiber, and drink enough water. And here's the beautiful truth. Nature often hides power in miniature forms. The strongest things are not always loud, not always expensive, not always obvious. Sometimes they fit in a teaspoon. If white beans were the quiet vault, chia seeds are the tiny engineers working behind the scenes. And the next food is something many people already eat, but rarely realize it may be helping their bones, muscles, and aging process every single day. 3. Almonds. Most people see almonds as a snack, something to grab between meals, something healthy enough. But almonds can be far more strategic than that. They contain calcium, magnesium, manganese, vitamin E, healthy fats, and plant protein, a combination that supports not only bones, but muscles, energy, and healthy aging overall. And that matters because strength is never built from one nutrient alone. The body is an ecosystem. Calcium helps structure, magnesium supports muscle relaxation and nerve function. Protein supports repair. Healthy fats help satiety and hormone balance. This is why almonds can be such a smart daily food, especially for people who tend to snack on processed foods that give calories, but very little support. Another advantage, convenience. Some of the best health habits fail because they are too complicated. Almonds succeed because they are easy. No preparation, no cooking, no excuse. Keep them nearby, and healthy choices become more automatic. That said, portion awareness matters. Almonds are nutrient-dense, which is a gift, but also means a small handful is often enough. Practical ways to use them. A handful as a snack. Add to oatmeal. Sprinkle over yogurt. Blend into smoothies. Use almond butter on fruit or toast. Crush over salads for texture. If possible, choose minimally salted or unsalted versions. And here is the deeper lesson almonds teach. Protection is often built through repetition, not intensity. A dramatic cleanse for 3 days rarely changes much, but a small handful of nutrient-rich foods repeated over months and years, that changes the body quietly. That changes the future. And the next food on our list is one Many people eat for taste, without realizing it may also help rebuild what time slowly tries to take away. There are 4. Yogurt. Most people think yogurt is just a breakfast item, something quick, convenient, maybe even boring. But when chosen wisely, yogurt can become one of the most practical daily tools for aging well. Why? Because it offers a powerful trio: calcium, protein, and beneficial live cultures. That combination matters more than it seems. Calcium helps maintain structure, protein helps preserve muscle. And a healthier gut may improve digestion and nutrient use. This is important because as we age, 2 silent risks often rise together: loss of bone strength and loss of muscle mass. Many people focus on one and ignore the other, but movement, balance, confidence, and independence depend on both. That's why yogurt can be so valuable. It supports multiple systems at once in a form that is easy to eat consistently. And consistency always beats perfection. Now, not all yogurt is equal. Some products are closer to dessert than nourishment, loaded with sugar, artificial flavors, and little real benefit. So when possible, choose plain yogurt, Greek yogurt for higher protein, unsweetened options, versions with live cultures. Then make it flavorful yourself. Easy ways to use it: add berries and cinnamon, mix with chia seeds. Use as a creamy base for smoothies. Replace sugary snacks with a yogurt bowl. Use plain yogurt in savory sauces or dips. Another hidden benefit: it requires almost no effort. And that matters because many healthy plans fail from friction. When something is simple, fast, and satisfying, it becomes sustainable. Here's the deeper truth. Your body is rebuilding every day, whether you notice it or not. The question is not if rebuilding is happening. The question is, what materials are you giving it? Yogurt used wisely can become one of those materials. And the next food is green, humble, and so underestimated that many people walk past it in the store without realizing it may be one of nature's smartest calcium choices. 5. Kale. For some, it became a health cliché, a symbol of healthy eating that felt forced, expensive, or joyless. But trends can distract from truth, and the truth is this: kale remains one of the most nutrient-dense greens you can place on your plate. It provides calcium, vitamin K, vitamin C, folate, antioxidants, and fiber, all in a low-calorie, versatile form. Why is that powerful for aging? Because calcium is only part of the story. Vitamin K helps support how calcium is used in the body. Vitamin C supports collagen formation. Antioxidants help defend cells from everyday stress. Fiber supports metabolic and digestive health. That means kale does not just contain nutrients, it creates support systems. And that is how real nourishment works. Many people think protecting their future health requires expensive biohacks. Sometimes it begins with greens. Another reason kale stands out is that compared with some leafy vegetables, it can be a more practical source of calcium in a balanced diet. And unlike pills, it arrives with a full team of compounds working together. Simple ways to enjoy kale: sauté with garlic and olive oil, add to soups and stews, blend into smoothies with fruit, bake into crispy kale chips, massage raw kale with lemon and olive oil for salads, mix into eggs or grain bowls. If raw kale feels tough, cook it lightly. Many people enjoy it more that way. Here is the lesson kale teaches. Just because something became popular does not mean it became useless. Sometimes the world mocks what quietly works. Kale may not feel exciting, but strength rarely needs to be exciting. It needs to be repeated. And the next food on our list is one of the best plant-based calcium choices available, especially for people who think they must rely on dairy to stay strong. 6. Tofu. Some dismiss tofu as bland. Some see it only as a substitute. Some assume it cannot compare to traditional protein foods. But that usually comes from not knowing what tofu actually offers. When made with calcium salts, such as calcium sulfate, tofu can become one of the most valuable plant-based calcium foods available. That means it may support the body in two major ways at once: calcium for structure and protein for maintenance. And as we age, that pairing becomes increasingly important, because many people focus only on bone density while ignoring muscle loss. But bones do not carry you alone. Muscles stabilize joints. Muscles protect balance. Muscles help prevent falls. Muscles preserve independence. So a food that supports both systems deserves attention. Tofu also has another strength: adaptability. It takes on flavor beautifully, which means it can fit many lifestyles and cuisines: savory, spicy, crispy, soft, grilled, blended. Its usefulness depends more on preparation than reputation. Simple ways to use tofu: stir-fry with vegetables, grill cubes with spices, scramble like eggs with turmeric and herbs, add to soups, bake until crispy, blend silken tofu into smoothies or sauces. If you're new to it, start with firmer tofu for texture and easier cooking. Another reason tofu matters: it gives options. And options create consistency. When people believe there is only one way to eat well, they often give up. But when they realize nourishment can come through many paths, healthy eating becomes sustainable. Here is the deeper lesson: strength does not care whether support comes from old traditions or new choices. Your body responds to what serves it, not to food stereotypes. Tofu may look simple, but behind that quiet appearance is a structure-building ally many people never saw clearly. And the next item has been used for centuries, tastes rich and earthy, and carries mineral support in a form the modern world often forgets. 7. Sesame seeds. Tahini tiny seeds. Ancient history. Remarkable value. For thousands of years, sesame has been used across the Middle East, Asia, Africa, and the Mediterranean, not as a trend, but as everyday nourishment. And that longevity matters. Foods that survive across centuries usually do so for a reason. They are practical. They are satisfying. They support life. Sesame seeds provide calcium, copper, magnesium, zinc, healthy fats, and plant compounds that can be especially useful as the body ages. Why is that combination important? Calcium helps structural support. Magnesium supports muscles and nerves. Zinc plays roles in repair and immunity. Copper contributes to connective tissue and collagen processes. So sesame is not just about bones. It contributes to the systems that help hold the body together. That's why I call it ancient fuel. And tahini makes this easier than many people realize. If chewing seeds daily doesn't appeal to you, tahini turns those nutrients into a creamy, versatile paste that can fit into many meals. Easy ways to use sesame or tahini: sprinkle sesame seeds over vegetables, add to salads or rice bowls, stir tahini into sauces and dressings, blend into hummus, spread lightly on toast, mix with lemon, garlic, and water for a mineral-rich drizzle. One warning: quality matters. Choose versions with simple ingredients when possible. Another hidden advantage: flavor. Healthy habits become sustainable when they taste good. Too many people try to punish themselves into wellness. That rarely lasts. Sesame teaches a better path. Nourishment can be enjoyable. Pleasure and health do not have to be enemies. And here is the deeper truth. Sometimes the future of your body is protected by foods trusted long before modern labels existed. The next item is even more surprising, because many people avoid it due to its appearance, while others quietly use it as one of the smartest calcium foods in the world. 8. Sardines. Many people ignore sardines because of the smell, the can, or old assumptions. But nutrition does not care about image, and sardines are a perfect example of that. These small fish can provide something rare and valuable: calcium, vitamin D, protein, omega-3 fats, and key minerals, all in one compact food. Why is the calcium so strong here? because when you eat sardines with their soft, edible bones, you receive natural calcium in a form many people overlook. That means this is not just fish for protein. It is structural support with bonus benefits, and those bonus benefits matter deeply with age. Vitamin D helps the body use calcium. Protein helps preserve muscle. Omega-3 fats help support heart and brain health. Together, they create a smarter package than many single-purpose foods. This is why sardines can be one of the best examples of nutrient synergy. Small food, big return. Another overlooked advantage? Affordability. Some people believe healthy aging requires expensive products, powders, or premium groceries, yet sardines often cost far less than trendy wellness foods while offering more practical nutrition. Simple ways to use sardines: on toast with lemon and herbs, mixed into salads, with rice and vegetables, mashed with olive oil as a spread, added to pasta dishes, served with tomatoes and greens. If you're unsure about the taste, start with boneless or lightly seasoned versions, then explore from there. And here is the deeper lesson sardines teach. Do not judge nourishment by packaging. Many of the most powerful things in life arrive without glamour. No fancy branding, no dramatic promises, just real value. Sardines may never look luxurious, but your bones, muscles, and future body may appreciate them more than many expensive trends ever could. And the next food is richer, sharper, and far more concentrated than most people realize, which is exactly why it earns a place near the top of this list. 9. Parmesan cheese. Most people sprinkle Parmesan over pasta, eggs, or vegetables without ever thinking of it as a nutritional tool. But Parmesan has something unusual. It is highly concentrated. Because it is aged and lower in moisture than many softer cheeses, a small amount can contain an impressive concentration of nutrients, including calcium and protein. That makes it different from foods where you need large portions to make an impact. With Parmesan, a little can go a long way. And that matters as we age. Because many people struggle with appetite changes, digestive sensitivity, or simply not wanting large meals. Foods that deliver more support in smaller portions can become incredibly practical. Another advantage? Flavor intensity. Strong flavor often helps healthy meals feel satisfying. A bowl of vegetables may feel ordinary. Add a modest amount of Parmesan, and suddenly it becomes something people actually enjoy eating. That may sound simple, but enjoyment drives consistency, and consistency drives results. Simple ways to use Parmesan. Grate over roasted vegetables. Add to eggs or omelets. Sprinkle onto soups. Use on salads. Mix into whole grain pasta dishes. Finish beans or lentils with a small amount. Because of the bold flavor, even a small serving can transform a meal. That's useful when trying to improve nutrition without overeating. Now, Parmesan is still a rich food, so portion awareness matters. This is about strategic use, not excess. And here is the deeper lesson. Sometimes protection comes through concentration. You do not always need more volume. You need more value. Parmesan reminds us that smart nutrition is not only about quantity. It is about density, efficiency, practicality. A little support repeated often can create meaningful change over time. And now we reach number 10. Not a single food, not a supplement, but a strategy almost no one talks about, and it may be the smartest way to help your body use calcium as you age. 10. Smart Calcium Combo. Not a miracle pill. Not one magical food, not some expensive secret, a strategy. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make with calcium is thinking the story ends with calcium itself. It doesn't. Your body does not work in isolated nutrients. It works in relationships. That means calcium is most useful when it arrives with the other helpers that allow it to be absorbed, directed, and used well. So instead of asking only, "How do I get more calcium?" ask, "How do I build a meal that helps calcium work?" That question changes everything. Here are the key partners. Vitamin D helps calcium absorption. Vitamin K helps support healthy calcium placement in the body. Magnesium supports balance, muscle, and nerve function. Protein helps preserve structure and strength movement, and resistance exercise helps signal the body to maintain tissue. This is why number 10 is not one food, it is synergy. Simple examples: Combo 1, Strength Plate Sardines, plus kale plus lemon plus olive oil. You get calcium, vitamin D, vitamin K, minerals, healthy fats, and flavor. Combo 2, Easy Morning Bowl, yogurt plus chia seeds plus berries. You get calcium, protein, fiber, antioxidants, and sustained energy. Combo 3, Plant Power Meal, tofu, plus sesame sauce, plus vegetables. You get calcium, protein, minerals, and flexibility. Do you see the shift? When meals become intelligent, nutrition becomes easier. You stop chasing isolated numbers. You start building systems, and systems age better than shortcuts. Here is the deeper truth. The body rarely asks for magic. It asks for patterns, better meals, better repetition, better signals. That is how strength is preserved. That is how vitality lasts. And if you stayed until number 10, you now understand something many people never learn. Aging well is not about finding one superfood. It is about creating smart combinations repeated consistently year after year. Here's what most people never realize until much later. The body gives warnings long before it gives collapse. A little weakness, more stiffness, less balance, longer recovery, energy that doesn't feel the same. People often call it just aging, but many times it is also the result of years of undernourishment, small neglects, and nutrients the body needed but never consistently received. That should not create fear, it should create power. Because if decline can be built slowly, strength can be rebuilt slowly too, meal by meal, choice by choice, habit by habit. That is the real message of today's video. These foods were never rare, never hidden, never reserved for elites. Many have always been around you. You just may not have seen them as tools. White beans, chia seeds, almonds, yogurt, kale, tofu, sesame seeds, sardines, Parmesan cheese, simple foods, strategic use, powerful future. You do not need perfection. You do not need to eat everything at once. You only need to begin. Choose 2 foods from this list this week. Build 1 better breakfast. Create 1 stronger dinner. Repeat it until it becomes normal, because the life you want later is being built now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to stay strong as they age. And tell me in the comments, which of these foods do you already eat, and which one will you add next? Your future body is listening.